The amount of lot size you will use will determine the amount of profit and loss you will make on the market. On this trade, I used a lot size of 2.0 and I made $24 on a 15-minute trade, scalping and catching spikes on boom and crash 500. And this strategy is so accurate, you will see it in this video. So watch this video to the very end so that you can get a clear understanding of what I talked about throughout this video. Alright, so let's get started. I'm going to show you guys how I scalp, crash and boom to make some profit using small lot size, right? So the lot size which I'm going to use is 0.2. I'm going to show you guys how this strategy works and how you can make profit using small lot size, but we're going to be entering into different position on the market, right? So clearly right here what we're seeing is crash 500 index and we are on the lot size of 0.2, which you can see. And right now I'm going to zoom in and see the condition of the market, right? So clearly we're seeing that the MACD is on a downtrend because I'm using three indicators, which is the moving average, the RSI and the MACD. But we're seeing that the MACD is on a downtrend, and when the MACD is on a downtrend, that's not the best time to enter into the market. Only when the MACD is on an uptrend, right? So what I'm going to do is to go over to the boom 500 index and see how I will be able to take advantages of the price movement on the market, right? So what I'm going to do is to go to the boom 500 index. So on the boom 500 index, once the MACD crosses the level 10 is a spike, we can clearly see the position of the market. So what I'm going to do is to enter into 10 buys, right? 10 buys, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, right? So what I'm going to do is to enter into 10 buy position, right, on the hope to catch spike on the market, because I can clearly see right here the position of the MACD, right? The market position right here is clearly on a downtrend and it has crossed this level of 10 below, right, on the MACD. So we're going to wait for the spike to happen during this point. So guys, like I said, the spike just occurred during that point, right? So what I'm going to do is to close our position, right? We can clearly see our balance right here is 3.57 USD, right? So guys, I just caught the spike live, right? So this is live trading, right? So you can clearly see that when price got into this point, a spike occurred immediately, right? See right here, I placed a buy at this point, right? Only after a candle tick on the 1 minute time frame, right, then the next spike occurred, right? You can see immediately when price crosses down the level of 10, I caught the spike and I got a profit from the market. Okay, so you can see how accurate this scalping strategy is and how accurate this indicator is, which is the MACD and the RSI. Okay, so for you to get this accuracy, there's a parameter which you have to set on your MACD and the RSI. There's a setup which you need to set that I'm going to show you later on in the video after I've made some profit on the market, right? So what I'm going to do is to wait and go back to the crash 500 index market and see if price has moved above the upper MACD, right? So go over to the crash 500 index right here. Over to the crash 500 index, we can see a very long spike. Okay, a very long spike, guys. Remember what I said on the downtrend of the MACD for the crash 500 index, a lot of spikes. If you see right here at this point, you can see that the spike occurred right here. If you trace it down, a downtrend on the MACD right here, again a downtrend on the MACD. This is a big spike, and if you bought the market during this point, the market is going to sell. Okay, right here, take a look at this spikes, the downtrend of the MACD, and right here again another spike. So you don't want to enter into the market during this point for a buy. If you enter the market during this point for a buy, the spike is going to catch you, right, and you're going to lose some profit on the market. So if you enter into the market during this time, you're not going to have a profitable trade. Okay, that's why the MACD is very helpful, right? But there's a setup which you need to set for you to be able to get such accuracy on the market. Okay, so right here we're going to go back to the boom and scalp a little bits of profit from the market, right? So go over to the boom 500 index. The boom 500 index is a little bit different from the crash 500 index on the MACD, right? So what I'm going to do is zoom out so I can see where price movement is. I can see right here a position for a sell. I'm going to enter into 10 sales as well. Let's check it out. 3, 4, 5, 6. So right here I just entered into 10 sales, right, for scalping, right. I'm going to take about 2 or 3 candlesticks from the market from this trade real quick. So another thing for you guys to note is that if the MACD, which is below on the boom 500 index, if it's about to touch the level 10 again, another spike is going to occur, right? So I can tell you guys that this market will also buy during this point. It's also going to buy, right, because I can clearly see where the price is going with the moving averages. And on the MACD right here, you can see that the MACD is in the same space of the level 10, right? Take a look at it at this point, the same space. So it's only when the MACD is going down a little bit. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. If this line, this black line you are seeing, if it start creating another line but it's a little bit shorter than the previous one, that's when it's going to create an upper trend, right? That's when it's going to create an upper trend for the MACD, right? But the market is still going to spike. So I sold here, so I'm going to take my profit after this candle because I'm seeing a buy, which is another spike, right? So I'm seeing a buy, so I don't want the spike to catch me. So what I'm going to do is to take my profit right after this fully candle, right? So I'm going to zoom in real quick and wait. After this candle is created, I'm going to exit the market and take my profit right there. So the previous profit I've gotten for the market so far was $3, right? So I'm going to exit the market after a $3 profit from this market as well. Okay, let's see how much profit we have here, right here. Let's see how much profit, $3. So what I'm going to do is to close all the positions, right? I'm going to close all the position. After closing the position, going back to the crash 500 index. So this is a safe way of scalping, right? If you want to scalp using a proper risk management, this way you're going to be able to count more of your profits than your losses, right? More of your profits. So you only need to know how this strategy works, right? Plus your technical analysis, right? So like I said, guys, take a look at it. I told you guys that another spike is going to occur during a downtrend, so this is not the best time for you to take a buy. Okay, you could take a sell, but I can tell you that if you take a sell during this part, during the downtrend of the MACD, okay, you won't be able to get a clear prediction of when the market is going to spike exactly, right? So that's why we only take a sell when the MACD touch this level of 90, because we know that it has reached the higher high, so it's going to take a sell, it's going to drop down, right? But when it's below this point right here, spike is going to happen a lot, so you don't want to take a buy during this point. So what I'm going to do is to go over to the boom 500 index and see how I'll be able to take advantage of price movement on the market, right? So now price is about to get to this level of 10 again, so meaning another spike is going to happen, right? Another spike is going to happen during this point, because take a look at it, guys. If you zoom closely, you can see that right here the price is about to hit this level of 10. So if price eventually gotten to the level of 10, I'm going to place a buy, okay? But price has not gotten to that point yet. But when price got to that point, I'm going to place a buy, because I'm going to be expecting another spike to happen, just as it's happened at this point. Okay, just as it happened at this point, because immediately after it touches the level, the next candle tick, after the next candle tick, it spiked. So let's wait. Okay, let's see, guys, let's see. What I'm gonna do is to place a buy right here. I'm gonna enter into 10 buys with a lot of 0.2. so let's hope for a spike, right? Because we're seeing that the MACD has eventually touches the level of 10, so let's hope for a buy. So a spike occurred, but it's a little spike, but another spike is going to occur during this point. So I'm going to wait a little bit for another spike to occur during this point, because I'm seeing a very big buy. Okay, wow, like I said, guys, a spike is going to occur during this point, right? Take a look at it. I bought at this point, right, as you can see, and at this point right here, I'm gonna close. We're on a profit, guys. We're on a profit of 19 USD. So what I'm gonna do is to close all the position, right? I just close all the position, guys. This is a very huge profit. Okay, This is a very huge profit, guys. Right here, you see right here, I bought this market at this point, and I told you guys that the MACD is a bit close to the level of 10, right? So immediately I took a buy, right, and I waited right here. So you can clearly see that even though you take a buy during the certain points that you want the market to go on your favor, right, the market might not go to the actual point you want it to go at a certain time, right? So what you're gonna do is to have a little bit of patience on the market, right, because you know what you are doing. Okay, you know what you are doing. You can clearly see that most traders, right, we clearly exit the market just after like 5 or 6 candles, just because they see that the market is not going the way they predicted, right? But I can clearly tell you guys that on a downtrend, on the MACD, on boom, the market, when it gets to the level of 10, when it's closely to the level of 10, you're gonna see a very big spike. Even though the spike is not big at all, but there's going to be a spike at a certain point. Right now, this market right here is creating an uptrend right now on the boom 500 index on the MACD. So it's going to take a few sell before a spike will occur, right? So you can clearly see that I got a spike. Take a look at it, guys. Take a look at it. I just exited the market at this point, and I get a profit of 19 USD, guys. A profit of $90 from the market, right? So you can clearly see how accurate my predictions are and how accurate my analysis plus the indicator which I use, right? The RSI plus the MACD. I'm going to show you guys the setting of the MACD and the RSI which I use on this video. And another thing to notice, guys, once the MACD on the boom 500 index is creating an uptrend, what you want to wait for is after a spike before placing a sell, because another spike is going to happen during that point. Okay, let's take a look at this. If I go back to the previous charts right here, you can see that this is an uptrend of the MACD, right? Take a look at this spike. If you trace it, you can see uptrend of MACD, there is a spike. Take a look, another spike right here. So what you want to do is to wait for the spikes to happen. Now take a look at this, guys. Take a look at this very huge spike, right? So if I have entered into the market during this point and I take about like 4 to 5 candle ticks, I will be safe, right? Let's say I took a sell of 4 candle ticks from the market, right? That's why I always say that what you're gonna do when you're scalping, just take like 5 or 4 candle ticks from the market, right? So take a look at this point. Take a look at this very huge spike on the market, right? On the upper MACD during an uptrend of the MACD, the first MACD. What you're gonna do is to wait after the spikes, right? Wait after 2 or 3 spikes before placing a sell on the market. All right, so these are things you need to watch out for when you're trading, right? On crash and boom, right? So on crash and boom, it's going to be on the reversal, right? It's going to be on the opposite direction. I'm going to explain that later on in the video, right? So let's go to the crash 500 index, because I'm trading crash and boom 500 index, right? So on crash 500 index, and if you see right here, the market is on a downtrend of the crash 500 index on the MACD, and right here there was a spike, and also there was a spike right here during this point. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is to enter into 10 position, and I'm gonna take just 3 candle ticks from the market, because the MACD is on a downtrend, right? So I don't want to take too much risk on the market, right? Because on a downtrend of the MACD, there's a lot of spike, right? And what I'm going to do now is to enter into 10 positions. So I just entered into 10 position and a lot of 0.2, and we took a buy, right? So we took a buy. I'm going to be scalping just 3 candle ticks from this market, right? So I'm going to take just 3 candle ticks from this market. So let's wait for 3 candle ticks, and there's going to be an exit from this market, right? So the reason why I took a buy on the downtrend of the MACD is because a spike just occurred, right? A spike just occurred right here, and this spike created the first downtrend of the MACD. So I'm going to enter into a buy for just 3 candle ticks, because it's on a downtrend of the MACD, but it's on the first downtrend. Okay, the first downtrend is the first line during the downtrend of the MACD. Take a look at it. Take a look at it. This is the first downtrend. Okay, during the first downtrend, you can take a buy, right, for the MACD. Take a look at it. During the first downtrend, there was a buy, but there was no spike until the middle before a spike occurred, right? Take a look at it right here. After the spike right here on the first MACD, there was no spike again until right here, the middle, right? Okay, take a look at this. This is an uptrend of the MACD, so a spike really occurred during this point, right? But on the downtrend, there's a lot of spikes on the downtrend, right? Take a look at it. After here, this is a downtrend. Right here, there were 3 candlesticks before the downtrend. Okay, so the downtrend of the MACD, there's a lot of spikes, but you can enter into the market if you want to enter into the market, but it's going to be only the first MACD on a downtrend. Okay, it's going to be between the range of the first MACD, okay, the first section of the MACD before it has entered into the middle. So when it's got into the middle, you don't want to be on the position of the market at that point, right? So now I'm going to exit the market after this candle tick has been completed, because I said I'm going to be taking just 3 candle ticks from this market. Now let's check our profit. Our profit is going to be about $2 from this trade, right? From this trade. So we made $19. We've also made about $5 and $3 from our previous trade, and right here we're going to be closing our profit at $2, right? Because when the candle is completed, our profit is going to be $2 from this market, right? We're just scalping, taking small price movement from the market, right? So now I'm going to exit, close up position at $2.20, right? So I just took that profit right there. Okay, so my decision is my decision, right, on the market. So I bought the market here and I sold at this point. I took just 3 candle ticks because I don't want to risk a lot in the market, because the MACD is showing us that it's in a downtrend, right? This is a downtrend, so the spike occurred. So the reason I entered is because the spike has already happened. So when the spike happened, it's going to take like few candle ticks before another spike occurred. Okay, so these are things you need to understand when you are trading, right? You need to have this mentality that the market would spike at any given point. Okay, you also need to understand price actions as well, right? Because if I zoom out, we can see that this market is on a downtrend, right? It's on the support zone, meaning that it will spike. Okay, we can see that this market is on the support zone, right? So this market is a buy market. Okay, this market is a buy because it will eventually buy right to this point. Okay, even though it is going to spike again, right? So this is another advantage for you to take a buy, because you clearly know that this market is a buy. Even though this market spiked, it will buy again. Okay, so you are still going to count your profits than your losses, because this market is at the support zone, right? So you can see that it's on a lower high right here. Okay, at this point. Okay, you can use the third zoom level if you want to measure the RSI using the MACD on the level 10 and the level 90, right? You can use the third zoom level. It's much accurate, right? You can use the third zoom level, meaning you have to zoom out first, you zoom out, then you zoom in. So the first out is going to be the first zoom, right? Then the second one is 2, then the other one is 3. This is the third zoom level. Okay, so we have gotten a profit of $2. Was also gotten a profit of $19 and about $3 and $5 from our previous trade, right? So let's check on the Boom 500 index and see how our price is doing right here. Now if I had used bigger lot size, you know that I would have made a lot of profits from this market, but I'm using a lot size of 0.2. so this is a low lot size, a very small lot size. So your amount of profit is going to be the amount of lot size you are using on the market to trade, and it's going to be the amount of losses. So if you're using a bigger lot size, if you make profit, your profit is going to be big, and if you are losing from the trade, your loss is going to be big as well. Okay, so if you small lot size, small profit, small losses. Big lot size, big losses, big profits. That's how it works on the market, right? So your lot size determines how much profit you're gonna earn on the market and how much losses you're gonna earn as well on the market, right? But with this strategy that I've just showed you guys, you're gonna count more of your profits than your losses. Okay, so I hope this video that I've just shared with you guys shown you how to scalp and catch spikes with the accuracy of the RSI and the MACD, right? So what I'm gonna do right now is to show you guys the setup for the indicator that I'm using, right? I'm using 3 indicators: the moving averages, the latest trade index, and the MACD. Okay, but the moving average is not that important on the trade. You can only use your moving average to see how price movement is going on the trade, right? But the main indicator which I use for catching the spikes and scalping is the RSI and the MACD. That's the indicator that I use, right? So I'm going to show you the settings and the parameters for these indicators. So the first indicator is your RSI. It's going to be on indicator window 1. Indicator window 1, I use period on 14 while I apply to close right there, and the levels I use on the level of 10 and level of 90, okay, for the first indicator, which is the RSI. So the level 10 I put on buy, and the level 90 I put on sell, right, as you can see right here. Then I use the 2 pixel on the style, while I also use the black color, and the line is going to be the one on the middle right there. Then you click on done, right? Then the time frame is going to be on all time frame on default. Then the style right here is going to be on 2, while the color is blue, and the line is going to be the first line pattern here, right here. Then you click on done, okay. After you've clicked on done, you're going to put the MACD on the indicator window 1. Is going to be below. If you put a MACD first, the levels is not going to show. If you put a MACD first, this level of 90 and 10, you're not going to see it, okay. So that's why you need to put the RSI first before the MACD. So the MACD you put on level of 12. The slow EMA is going to be 26, while the mark EMA, the mark CD SMA, I use 9, right? So I apply to close. I didn't add any level. You're not going to add another level. Do not add another level on 10 and 90. No, you're not adding another level on the MACD, only on the RSI. Then why we're using all time frames. But the style color, you can use any color of your choice, but I use black color, and also I use red. I use black color right here, and I use red color on the signal, right? Why on 2 pixel, as well as the main I use 2 pixel as well, while using the first line color as well as the main. So this is pretty much the setup for the RSI and the MACD, right? Is a pretty setup for the RSI and the MACD. While the moving averages, what I use on the period on 200, while I shift to 0, while the method is exponential, and I apply to close, right? Then I use on second pixel, which is the second pixel, which is 2 with a straight line, and the apply to all time frames. So going to be on default as well, okay. So this is pretty much the setup for these 3 indicators which I just use, right? So the indicators help me see how the price movement is going and how they will be, right? So you can see that I was able to use the MACD to predict spikes on the markets, right? I was able to use the MACD, but you can't use the MACD alone. The MACD doesn't work alone, right? That's why I invented the strategy using the RSI together with the MACD to be able to predict and catch the spike. So during the video which you just watched, you see that how accuracy this MACD indicator is when I used to catch a spike couple times. I use this MACD to catch and predict spike on crash and on boom as well, right? Then I also use scalping, right? I took advantages of small price movements from the crash and the boom market as well. So this is pretty much it, okay. So you can see this strategy is good, and you can use it to catch your spikes, and you can cut more of your profits than your losses. Although you might make losses from the market, but you can cut more of your profits than your losses on the market, okay. So I believe after watching this video, you now understand how accurate and how the strategy is, okay. So guys, if you enjoy watching this video and you really like this video, do it to like and subscribe to this channel, the Daily Forex, for more awesome strategy and tips on forex trading and synthetic indices. I will see you guys on the next video.